All right, guys, back with another tutorial, another show and tell, another preview of our latest and greatest app that we are calling Art Helper. And I want to show it off a little bit here for you. And what I've been doing on these streams recently is I like to start with the guinea pig. Okay, I need a guinea pig. One of you that are willing to let me grab your images right now in real time. To get on the VIP list, comment, and I will add you to the list. Sorry, I'm pinning the comment really quickly. And I want to show you kind of the latest and greatest that we've done for this particular app, which I'm so excited about this thing. I cannot wait to get this thing into your guys' hands, get you playing with it, see what you think. So who wants to be my guinea pig? You will allow me to go and steal images from your Instagram right now to show and tell with this thing in person, which is the goal here. So one of you guys that are watching on Instagram say, yes, I'm game. Do it to me. All right. So I will grab. All right. That's the first one up. This is like getting so complicated. I've got so many monitors going on here to try and do all of this at once. It's just getting out of control. Okay. I'm just going to grab KRL photo, and then I will come back and grab. There was someone else that said yes. All right. Ooh, astrophotographer. So first and foremost, okay. Let me just see. Let me get a couple of these beautiful images. Oh, that one's stunning. That one's stunning. Love the pink. Love that one. Love the desert one. You have a tremendous amount of beautiful work here, Kenneth. What I don't see, though, Kenneth, is a lot of photos of you. Oh, I've used you before on this, too. Okay, cool. So let me get back to Art Helper because I've downloaded some of Kenneth's images. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the images that I just kind of downloaded from Kenneth's Instagram profile. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 of them. I'm going to go ahead and upload these into Art Helper. And what's really cool here is I've got like a brand new feature as of like 20 minutes ago. Okay, that's live in here that I can now show you and see what you think. And, you know, I titled the tagline in this like, can you just make room mock-up images easier? I know you guys have wanted room mock-ups in an easy, quick, and snappy fashion for quite some time. I'm here to tell you that we've done it. We are very, very close to having this buttoned up and dialed in such that it is no longer a pain in your lives, okay? So I'm going to grab this first one, and I did... beautiful image. I did this handy thing where I can zoom now, so it makes it a little bit more compelling on Instagram. That's a really cool photo. I mean, that's awesome. I don't know what kind of running man position you're in there, Kenneth, but I like it. Okay, I like it. So what I'm going to do is show you the room mockups first, and then I want to show you some other new features. And so we've had already where the minute that you upload to the app, okay, you've got beautiful room mockups that are just done and ready to go. Okay. And you can download these. They're high res. They can instantaneously go to Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or TikTok or wherever you're doing your marketing into emails. But the request has been, can we get more? So we've added another new button, and let me just zoom out so you can see this all in its gloriousness. And this is like a brand new feature here. And so there might be some delays in getting it done. But you can see we've drastically expanded the number of room mockups that you've got going here. And you get just a ton of options. And you can see that there's a color palette down at the bottom that kind of tells you which color palette you're working with and how you would want it to look like in a room like that. Baby bottle's like, my room would never land in my work would never land in a room like that. And trust me, we know this. And so we've got a bunch of different rooms, and we're going to be adding a ton more really cool ones. But you know, the amazing thing is that it's all done on the fly instantaneously. Like, you don't have to wait even a second, and boom, you can download these things right away. Okay, absolutely right away. And Maui's asking if we can do this on the phone or it has to be on the computer. You can do it on either or. It works on the phone already, the way the website is designed. But our eventual goal here is to make it so it's an app, and we're going to put it in the iOS store. And so you guys can use it in the iOS store if you're so inclined, if you want to. If you don't want to, that's okay too. Totally up to you guys, right? Okay. So pretty awesome, right? Like the fact that you're going to have access to this many room mockups that quickly is sort of insane, right? Like absolutely amazing. Excuse me. The next new feature that we just did to this, and I know, like, you know, some of you guys, and by the way, anyone that's watching on Facebook or Instagram that's not on the list, you can comment AHA, AHA. Got to remember to say that, AHA, and that gets you on the VIP list for this when we release it, which is going to be very, very soon, which I'm really, really excited about. But what I wanted to sort of punctuate here or talk about here is this, okay? Some of you guys have used AI, right? And used some of the various different ones out there, because we surveyed you, and a bunch of you are like, yeah, I've used it once or twice. Like I tried it here or there, and like I got decent results, but you know, it's this ugly window and I have to like use this window, and like there's context and prompting and all of this stuff. And so I think what our genius feature here, okay, is ultimately having all of your work saved in one window that you can come back to at any point in time, okay, that you can delete and rearrange at any point in time. Like, you know, it's essentially just one folder of all your work, and anytime you want to nuke any of these things, boom, they're done, they're deleted, they're gone. You don't want to process those anymore. You've used them for one particular use case, and now that use case is gone. Like, boom, all of that's done and that's knocked out, right? But what we've done is, one, we've trained this particular AI on everything that we know about selling art that we've learned in our 10 years in business. What kind of language do you use? How do you, you know, via language, put in leading words that let people know that this is not just a pretty picture, but this is actually art for sale, right? For lack of a better term, when to insert salesy types of language, which you guys at default are not usually the best at, because it's a really hard thing to do, right? So let's get a product description going for this particular piece. And, you know, we've long had at Art Storefronts the ability for it to tune your voice, right? Like you go on to these AIs, the rest of the AIs, and it's really hard to get the thing to write in a tone of voice that actually works for you. So right out of the gates, we have this tune your voice feature, right? And I'm gonna have to make sure that this is looking good. I got too many moving pieces here. All right, there. So you can blend these individual tags, right, to get a tone of voice that works for you, that you feel like is how you want to sound, right? Let me get out of that Zoom. How you want to sound, and then you can experiment with it. And then once you have it, right, you have this tone of voice that you really like, that you're really excited about. It's saved, and everything that it's going to write going forward is going to be in that tone of voice, right? So it will keep all of your writing consistent, whether it's an email, whether it's a social media post, whether it's a product description or a product title. And that's really cool. That's a huge leg up, because that's a hard thing to do automatically, you know, with a lot of these other AIs that are sort of off the shelf, right? So already you can tune your voice. But what I love about this is we have this new feature, okay? And I'm going to zoom in again. I've got a lot of things going on. It's called custom rules, right? And what you can do is you can turn it on. Now, when you click on it, okay, let me get this, try to get this dead center in the screen. You can give this thing, and it's just not going to center in my screen, so I'll zoom out. You can give this thing, or maybe I won't, let's see. That's better than nothing. You can give this thing custom instructions for this job specifically, okay? Specifically. And yes, Jay Morris, we're working on including it with Copilot, 100%, of course. What's the easiest way to do it, right? And so we can look at his individual image here, Kenneth's image, and say, for this particular writing example, we want to do something that's a little bit different, okay? What we want to do is we want the AI, please write this description like you are a gallerist, like a gallerist. Use the third person and highlight the photographer Kenneth's incredible experience. Okay, so maybe that's something that a gallerist would do, right? And I can save the custom rule. Okay, and let me get back to my little box here. And what I can do is I can go ahead and clear the session and start over. And what it's going to do is it's already working with our AI that kind of knows how to sell art and does things like that. Now it's going to act like Kenneth's gallerist, and it's going to use third person, and it's going to talk about Kenneth and the fact that he did this, kind of like if you had a gallerist actually writing this for you, right? And what's so cool is that you have the ability to turn these custom rules on and off just by clicking a button, right? Just by clicking a button. And you can do it for any of the individual sparks, right? Because we have a bunch of different sparks in here. We have social posts and product descriptions and blog posts and product titles, artist statement, new piece email. And so, what'll be really cool about this is like, you guys are always so worried. I'm sending too many emails, Patrick. I can't possibly send this many emails. Well, now you can write an email, you can turn on the custom rule, and you can say, write this like Kenneth's gallerist, okay? Write it in the third person. Talk about Kenneth's extensive experience. Talk about the fact that Kenneth recently got featured in such and such, and then have it rewrite it that way, right? And you can save that for individual work efforts, individual use cases, right? Like one of the things that I did yesterday that blew even my mind, and again, like, a lot of this you can do technically with other AIs. It's just not all saved in one window, and the AI out of the box is not tuned to sell art. So now you have an AI that's tuned to sell, talk about, and explain art, as well as you can individually tweak it to make your individual social media updates or your blog posts or your emails completely tuned, right? And so one of the things I did yesterday, and I'm going to go get this file again because it works so well. I thought it was really, really funny. A really, really good use case, right? And so I'm going to open up this image. And this was an artist from yesterday. I think it was Jessie. So shout out Jessie for letting me use your work yesterday. And it's uploading to Art Helper right now. Okay. And I'm going to click it, and you can see she did a celebrity portrait of Ryan Reynolds, right? He's an actor. And where this gets really, really interesting is when we go to write the product description, okay? And, this works across the board. Like, it has so much room for creativity. It's sort of insane. But what I can do here is, one, sometimes in the custom rules, writing it like it's Kenneth's work, which is hilarious. Sometimes the AI will look at the image and instantaneously know who this person is, and sometimes it won't. Okay, it just sort of depends on how good the technology is, how good the read is, how abstract the work is, or how abstract the work isn't. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tell it this image is of actor and comedian and billionaire businessman at this point in time, Ryan Reynolds. Okay, so I'm now going to tell it exactly who this is. Okay, and now it's rewriting the description knowing conclusively who this person is. Okay, now where it gets mega interesting. Okay, mega interesting. I'm going to go ahead and turn the custom rules back on, and I'm going to say, please, let me zoom in so you can see this. Please write this description in the tone of voice of Ryan Reynolds. Make it hilarious and cheeky. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to turn on the custom rule, and I'm going to say clear session and start over. Okay. So clear session and start over. Now the AI, because it knows who Ryan Reynolds is going to make a hilarious description of it as if it's written by Ryan Reynolds himself. Okay. You can do this, you guys, with anybody at any time for any reason, right? And so what did it say? Meet Monochrome Marvel, the portraits that are here to steal your heart and possibly your snacks. This cheeky artwork captures the essence of a man who's got it all: a killer smile, a beard that could have its own Instagram account, and eyes that somewhat say, I'm serious, but also let's grab some tacos, right? Like, that work, okay, if you were going to use that in a social media post, in 2 seconds went from, okay, here's my latest piece of Ryan Reynolds, or like a funny quote or something like that, to now Ryan Reynolds has written a caption for his own piece of work. How do you think that's going to play on social media when I grab that particular room image of him and then they read this description, right? A beard that could have its own Instagram account, and eyes that somehow say I'm serious, but also let's go grab some tacos. Like, that's really funny. for out of the gates and in 2 seconds. And you've done that in a matter of minutes. You've taken an image, which is really hard to create in the first place. I'm well aware of that. And you've punched up the language such that not only is it a beautiful image, but you've got people laughing in a matter of minutes on a social media update, which I think is just mega, mega, mega powerful. So I'm just so excited about what we're going to do. But let's grab another guinea pig whose work that I can download. Let's get an artist this time and not a photographer, just so it's different. I like showing the range. But someone that's watching on Instagram, just comment, "Yep, me," and I'll go to your profile and I will get one of your images, and then I will process it in here and you can see what you think. But I'm just really, really excited because I know how hard you guys struggle with marketing, and I know it's impossible to be good at everything. You can't be good at creating the art and good at writing about the art and good at marketing the art. That is a unicorn. They don't exist all that often in life, right? So, with AI software like this, you're going to be able to do all of this, in just 2 seconds, and it's going to make the experience so much better. So Manuel was commenting before. Manuel art. Did he come out? It's so hard to type this on Instagram, so let me just do that. Manual art store. I typed it right. Manual store. Why is your avatar not coming up? There it is. Luis Manuel Diaz. Okay. So let's go on some colorful art. Yeah, it does an insane job with abstracts too, which are like really, really hard to possibly like qualify. Yeah, so you've got room mockups for days in here. You don't have to worry about how you generated those anymore. They'll be generated on the fly in seconds. That's beautiful. That looks like Italy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and upload those. So I'm going to go back, get out of this, add artwork. And this is the other thing too. It's like, to do this with the other AIs is like such a clunky experience. Like just having one super clean wrapper, for lack of a better term, or, one super clean, whatever you want to call this, interface window, and all your work is in here and it's just saved. So it's like you can batch process things. You could spend one day just getting all your work in here, and then the next day you could spend, okay, let's go get descriptions on all of this, right? So I'm going to grab his work, and you can see it's processing the image immediately. So what's going to happen here is you're going to start getting room mockups, right? And so you can already see those room mockups, which are really, really cool. If you want to go absolutely crazy with it, then you've got all of this generated instantaneously. It's just generated instantaneously. So you're going to have a scenario where, like, I don't know how much time it took you guys to do these room mockups or where you're going to do them before, but now they're just all in here and they're all just ready to go. And you've got your various different color palettes, how you want to do it. And I want to eventually get this to a scenario where you can upload your own rooms, right? I also think that we're going to get into a scenario where it's going to put into place color theory. So it'll scan the colors in your image, apply it to color theory, and then have the output of the furniture mimic that, right? Because one of the things that infuriates me about room mockups personally is like, none of us live in any of these houses, do we? And it's like, okay, great. Like, yes, I can visualize it in a hotel, and maybe that is a great way to do it. But I also want the flexibility of showing it in some normal rooms and some different scenarios. And maybe you're an artist that does underwater photography and you want it to show in a dive shop, right? Or something along those lines, like a marine restaurant or something, like a restaurant on the beach. Well, you should be able to have that flexibility. But already the fact that we can download these things this quickly really is an amazing thing, right? But here's an image, right? Like abstract art is really, really hard to write product descriptions on. And I'm curious to see, because he's got the Facebook logo and he's got the Instagram logo in here, what this will potentially look like. So let's just have a look and see, right? Welcome to the wild side of your wall decor. Dive into this cheeky master. Oh, I got the custom rule on, so it's writing like Ryan Reynolds again. I'm going to clear the session and start over. And let's just see. And I can zoom in on this. I forgot. Yeah. Okay. Dive into a world where color meets modern expression in this captivating piece. This artwork boldly explores the intertwining relationships we share with social media, depicted through surreal forms and vibrant hues. The playful forms and abstract expressions draw the eye, right? So already that's really, really good, right? What I might do, because I have some interesting insight on this, because I created the artwork, is turn on the custom rules, right? And hold on, try to get this. This is the best I can show it off. It's really hard to show this off on Instagram in portrait size. But okay, so custom rules for this spark. This image calls into question the relationship social media sites, namely Instagram and Facebook, have on our attention. They are stealing too much of it. Be critical about them, right? And I'm going to have some typos in there. And I'm going to save that custom rule. I'm going to enable it. And I'm going to clear the session and start over, okay? So I'm clearing the session and starting over. And what's super interesting about that is, like, I've been able to insert a little bit of my own artistic impression, right, of like why I created this work and what my mindset was. And this is really, really powerful too, because it will blend what it would normally do and infer from what the piece looks like, but then you're able to insert that extra barb, right? Dive into this vibrant piece that shines a light on the often overlooked relationship between our attention and social media giants like Instagram and Facebook. This artwork, with its surreal and abstract forms, embodies the colorful chaos of modern life, questioning who truly holds our focus in the digital age, right? Like, in 2 seconds, that's a pretty damn provocative statement on this particular, work of art. And now I can visualize the piece and the statement and see if it clicks for me, right? Now, here's where it gets really, really interesting. And again, I think this is one of these things where it's like, we have to unlock how powerful AI is and what it can actually do and how much it can make us better, right? And this analogy that I love is, okay, so we have here the description, right? And does that look okay? It's so hard to get this looking perfect. There it is. It's perfect, right? So you can see at the bottom, I can obviously copy the whole description. Sorry for the herky jerkiness. I can clear the session and start over, and then there's a show history button, right? Well, one of the things that I like to do, try to get it centered again, is think of myself in a scenario where it's like, I have a team of writers that are writing for me, okay? It's my writing team. I got 2 junior guys and 1 senior guy, and I just called all 3 of them into my office, right? So what you can do is you can say, I like this first version that it did, but I want a couple more versions. So I can compare and contrast and get a result that I think is the best. So that's why I have this writing team. That's why I have these 3 different people writing for me in concert, okay? In concert, explaining to me or giving me their best examples of what this is, right? And so already I've had 1 writer take a shot. Now I've had another writer take a shot. Now I'm going to clear the session and start over. So I instantaneously have 3 different versions, right? And I could change custom rules if I wanted to. I could prompt it additionally to do this, that, or the other. But either way, it's already given me 3 different versions, right? And what I can do, with Art Helper here is that I can go show history. And this is really, really hard with the zooming. If this is herky jerky, just tell me. So if I go show history, okay, what's in there now is all of it. Everything that was written by all 3, okay? And I can just go in here and copy all 3, and then I can throw it into a Word document, print it, okay? And then compare and contrast. Or I can obviously, if I want to, just write in here, read, like, who did the best job of the 3, right? And I can read through those and go, okay, I really like that one, but this one's better. This one just hits and it smacks, right? Like, this one just has the punch that I was looking for. And instantaneously, you just put 3 writers to work for you on a product description. Like, that's insane. How much time did that take you before? I mean, I like writing. I'm good at writing. That would have taken me a long time. Now I've got 3 jump off points that I can potentially use. So really, really powerful right out of the gates. And I think, like, when you connect all the dots with this, and I'm going to be doing a ton of teaching on this already, it's going to take what would ordinarily be like such a difficult thing to do, i.e., grab a piece, right? Okay, now the piece is done. It's signed. I've photographed it. I'm going to upload it. Go get room mockups so you have some things to post. So you can post some Instagram carousels, so you can post multiple images of it on Facebook. Download the ones you like. Okay, that task is done, right? Next, let's go get a product title for this particular piece. And again, I've tuned it to my voice. So it's now going to write what I've tuned it for. And I'm going to turn the custom rules off because this one's has nothing to do about Facebook and Instagram. So I got to clear the session and start over. So let me just do this very, very quickly. Pixely Creative, yeah, we're really, really excited about it too. This thing is just going to be, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to do. Oh, I've got to be over here. This is so hard, you guys, to like try to display this. Is it done writing? I can't copy anything until it's done writing, sadly. So it's still doing its thing. So I got to let it finish writing. Then once it's finished writing, I can go in and copy one of these. And let's just say I like colorful embrace. Okay, colorful embrace. So I'm going to get out of this. I've got to go back to the image. I'm going to edit the details. I'm going to go in and give it a title. Title, done, save, right? Then I'm going to go into product description, and I'm going to have it write a product description. And what's crazy about this is like when you stitch together all of these actions, all of these tasks, is when it truly becomes powerful and you understand like, oh, I can move through this so quickly. Like I can just go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, and I'm done. That's insane. Like that's amazing, right? So, okay, boom. I've got a product description. I like it. I'm going to edit the details, and I'm going to paste the description in here. And it always puts the title in there like that. I forget why it does that, but anyway, I'm going to save it, right? So now, in literally just a few moments, okay, I've got a title. I've got a description. I'm looking at the image. I'm looking at the image with various different wall mockups, and I can start to play with it in my mind to see whether or not I like Colorful Embrace, if that's a good title or if that's not a good title. What should I do next? Okay, well, now that I have a product description and now that I have a product title, I'm going to have it go write a social media post for me. And you can use the product description in your social media update, or you can use the actual social media update that it's written. And of course, there's custom rules here, so you can tune this thing any which way you like to say whatever you want it to say in whatever tone of voice, right? Like all of that is very, very easy. But now the social media update is done, right? And so if I've got this social media update, I've got some hashtags that it's done for me. Like instead of just posting this image, which is what a lot of you do, and then giving it, you know, whatever quick, I'm in a hurry, I've got to post, I've got to go drop my kids off, I've got to make dinner, life got in the way. Now you can grab text very, very easily, and then you can go in and you could download instantaneously like 3 or 4 room mockups, and you can make it a carousel. You know, you can make a carousel post, and the carousel posts are so much more engaging and get so much more reach. And so you just did that in 2 seconds, right? And then let's say we want to do a new piece email, right? Or we want to do a new collection email. Or do we have a collector email in here? I thought we did. Maybe it's gone. I don't know where that's gone. New collection email. I thought it was a collector email. So just new piece email. Now I'm going to have it write the new piece email, right? And because I downloaded 3 or 4 different room mockups and I've got the original image, I can just grab what it's writing here. Okay. Why can't you just, there we go. I can grab what it's written here, go put this directly into my email program, then go into my downloads folder, grab those images that I just downloaded of the wall previews. They're all high res, ready to go. Drag them all into the email and hit send. And I realized that like by connecting the dots, okay, I'm going to be able to move you guys from the image that you created to titling it, to giving it a description, to authoring a social media post, to having an email ready to go, pressing send. All of that was done in like 30 minutes. 30 minutes, I probably do it in 15. And it's pretty doggone good right out of the box. There are a large number of you that are going to say, that's good enough for me. That's more than I would have done. I quite frankly don't have the time, right? Like it's always better to ship than to not ship, and you're done. Look at how much marketing you just did in a few short periods, a few short minutes, right? And then I realized like, okay, what's next? Now I'm going to come back to this image, okay? And I'm going to have it go find Facebook groups for me. And I'm going to go, it's going to go search now based on what the image is showing. It's going to search for Facebook groups where I could potentially go and post this art, right? And, you know, there's going to be some good ones in there. There might be some questionable ones in there, but it's making a list right out of the gates of what are some really, really good groups that I can potentially go and do this in, right? And all of that's happening right out of the gates. And it's just, I'm very, very excited about where this is going to go. I can't wait to get you guys start playing with it. If you're an Art Storefronts customer, this is going to be coming very, very soon to you. Specifically, we're going to be introducing it at the gala that's coming up next week, so you will not want to miss that. If you're not an Art Storefronts customer, we're going to let you guys play with it in short order as well. And yeah, people are asking, like, how are we going to deploy this thing to our Art Storefront sites? We're figuring out the best way to integrate it. We don't know yet. I mean, we're really working on building this entire thing in public too, to the sense that, like, how do you guys want to see it? What would be the fastest way for it to work for you, right? Like, is it best, directly in the Art Storefronts application, or is it better as like a Chrome extension or something that sits outside of it? We're going to be figuring all that out. We're sort of building the thing in public. But for everybody that's not a customer, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Instagram, all you have to do is type AHA, AHA, and we can get you on the early access list. And the minute that it goes out to non-customers, which is going to be very soon, you can start playing with it. There's absolutely going to be a free plan to start too, which is really, really cool. And yeah, I'm excited, you guys. I'm just excited. It's some very, very cool new technology that's going to help all of you guys market way more efficiently, way more consistently. And ultimately, I know if you guys do that, you guys are going to win. You guys are going to win. Consistency is the entire ball game, and so few artists are. So excited to get it in your hands. I'll be talking about it more. You guys are all going to be hearing about it, and can't wait to see what you guys use it to do. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day.